Hello and welcome to my CRF450L project video. I have spent half a year trying to make this bike work. So here is the list what you need to do if you want your bike to run properly. Number one, you need to get the exhaust. Here I put the Arrow D-cut. No more back pressure. I have also put the Vortex ECU inside. The stock settings were not proper for Sweden, so I had to add a little bit of fuel and enduro map to make it drivable. The biggest fault on this bike, except the mapping, is the throttle, but it can be fixed. I fixed this with the ODI grips for KTM spare part. They are cheap, and I bought the gas cam for a Honda. Changed the diameter of the cam, so now it's much softer response when pulling. Here you have to pull longer for the same, so when opening and closing you have much more control of your throttle. This makes a night and day difference with this bike. The cam that comes stock, it's for motocross. You have to drive wide open all the time. It's not even good for road, but now you can drive it with no problems. Here I have also put the Zeta hand guards to protect my hands and grips. Okay, next thing to fix, the stock clutch on this bike. It's really hard to pull. I'm not strong enough to drive this with I just get pain in the hand and everything. So I replaced this with the Magura hydraulic system. It's an easy install, so you're always safe. Don't think, oh, I put the hydraulic, it can break and I'm stuck. Think, I can take the hydraulic clutch and I have the original, I can bring it in my bag. It doesn't take up that much space, so you have extra safety. Perfect. Even the handle you have extra now. I bought the Reckless 80 system for bringing my stuff when doing trips. I did my own custom modification here. I drilled some holes and I put this thing you have on boats to tie ropes. So now I can just pull that back there. And I have here the Moskomoto heat shield, and also I put extra here because I changed the exhaust. I just bought heat shield and folded it around my exhaust. So now I can bring everything I need for around the world trips, and the bike is still easy to maneuver and everything. It doesn't get in your way. The tank, it's only 7.5 liters, 7.5, 8. I think the specs are about 8 liters from Honda. This is not enough. You can go to the petrol station, turn the key, and then you can turn up Google Maps and search for your next petrol station. It doesn't work. So I have ordered a bigger 11-liter tank, Nomad, from Australia. We'll see if it shows up this year because of Corona. So now I just have to bring extra fuel in bottles. You can put here extra bags on the Moskomoto for fuel. I have removed about 3 kilos of weight here with the exhaust. So when I add the tank in the front, I add about 3 kilos with fuel and the bags. So this will balance the bike out for better performance. Because having your luggage here and no extra weight in front, it's terrible to drive. You can put a harder spring if you want, but then you can't drive without the bags. So better just balance the weight out. Guards for the CRF450R, they don't fit. So you have to cut them where they don't fit. The angle is not correct for this bike, so you have to do some cutting, but they will fit after a pretty good fit, and you get good grip with your boats, so I'm happy with this. Maybe in the future they will make some protection that fits proper. I also bought the OXP skid plate in plastic. You can buy metal protection, but that is never good. The plastic will just deform and act as a bumper and save your frame, so you can drive on rocks or wherever you want. On my competition bike I have half the thickness in my plate, and that one I bash against rocks every day. I drive hard, and it's no problem, so this one will last like forever. The stock guards that came with the bike, well, they work. I think they will protect from some rocks, and there's some soft foam inside, so it will protect. But now to make this ACERBIS fit and everything, I had to cut here to remove the point, so it's not sitting correct anymore with the screws. So there I see they sell Polysport protection, the same as I drive on my competition bike. Probably I will buy this in the future and exchange this. The Polysport protected my Husqvarna. I can't count how many hundreds of times I just smashed this into rocks on the tracks, so that will go on later. On my brake lever and my clutch levers I added grip tape. This makes driving in cold condition much better. So when we have here around 0, the fingers get really cold and it feels like the pain is bad. So I just put this grip tape, 3 layers, and also the red because it's the Honda. ACERBIS mirror. It works, but this here control needs to be replaced for something smaller, so I can move this out. And the stock mirrors, you just throw them in the bin. It's crap. I see a lot of people changed the seat. I don't know why. Maybe it will make it more comfortable, but I have no problem with the seat. I've driven 5 to 7 hours on the seat. Yeah, no problem. You just have to get used to driving on a race seat. You don't sit on it that much anyways. Oh, and the added protection, I bought the ACERBIS boots, they call them. I smash my forks in rocks often, so this protects. I left the stock brake disc guard. Should protect from sliding on rocks. That's usually what happens. You drive here and up the rock, and this just comes in between and it can slide off. So it's not to protect it from bending, it's protected so it can slide without ruining your brake. Upgrade to consider. The stock gearing on this bike is terrible. You can drive on the highway, it's all you can, or you can pull the clutch everywhere. If you're driving slow, it's a nightmare. But with my gas cam and the vortex, it smooths the bike out. But still you will get flame outs. It's not built to drive in technical terrain. You have to go fast, at least 30 kilometers per hour and up there. That's where this bike works. So the solution would be to get a 12-tooth front sprocket. It's the cheaper solution. I bought for the 450X, but that does not fit, so it's not done that modification yet. But for a highway, this works. If you get the 12-tooth sprocket, maybe your top speed will be 150 kilometers per hour. I think now it's 160, 180. It's just ridiculous for an off-road bike. You will never drive this fast. Maybe if you're a supermoto guy, but then nothing applies. Tires. Yeah, I just put these tires on for testing. It's worn out tires from my competition bike. But it worked. That front is new, but it will go on the competition bike. Yeah, here there's stock guards, the same as the front. It's to make it slide, not to protect it from breaking. You should also never put steel or aluminum protection, because these will bend and they will not bend back. Think about that. Then something else breaks. Okay, the summary. To make this bike work, now it drives like a dream, except the gearing is too high for my driving. You need to get the vortex and an exhaust. This Aero exhaust is the cheapest you can get, because you can use the stock header there. I found that the fueling on the vortex issue was needed to be added a little bit more for Sweden and my exhaust. So you can put it on 6 everywhere and it will work out nice. Now I have 7 and I feel it's a little bit smelling the gasoline, so 6. Setting 6 should be fine. But the biggest thing, except the vortex and the exhaust, is to fix your gas cam. This you can do by buying the throttle tamer for, I don't know, it's maybe $170 or something. It's 1,700 Swedish crowns. I think that is pretty much expensive for some aluminum throttle tubes. And so you can just get the ODI and you buy the Honda cam. Then you have to get the cam made smaller in diameter. Now, so you have to put your Dremel to the gas cam, or I can put it in my CNC machine and make a few. Maybe people want to buy them. And the price is $45.0 plus shipping if people want to have this upgrade.